All right, let's go live, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Still use my preferred background. I got it back actually. I was already taking it away. I was like, but I like my cardboard background, so it's back on stream again. I don't know how long it will last.
It's very DIY. I love it. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's sponsored by IKEA, so sponsored live stream. So yeah, anyone who's joining in obviously can drop in discussion on X. I guess X, YouTube, Twitch. Ideally, I guess you chat on like YouTube or Twitch. X experience seems to be way worse, but also we are on Blue Sky as well, so you can actually watch Embed on Blue Sky. So I probably should keep the notifications on in case someone randomly messages. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go through your. I hope people can hear you. Wait, can you say something?
I'm saying
Okay,
something.
yeah, I think fine. Maybe I need to reduce your volume a little bit on my side. That goes to not that goes through to the stream. That should be
Okay.
fine. Yeah, I just to match the levels a bit. Or am I just maybe a bit more? Should be fine, I guess. All right, what was your website? Jobsboard.com. I already forgot. Yeah.
xrjobsboard.com.
Yeah, I'm sharing screen with you, so you can see, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this is your website, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, did you actually make any changes from since our last discussion? But like based on also what we even discussed.
Yeah. So there are a couple of changes. So the main one is that the pages now that each job posting has a details page.
So I click in and yeah, okay.
And then there is also categories that are server rendered
Is
instead of
this
the
what
client.
only
Yeah.
these?
Yes, these, and then also the types, so full-time job and so on. I haven't added the locations yet, and there's no.
Oh, I need to apply. I actually.
Yeah. Well, so I tried to figure out, and the only reason to not have to apply was to use the client side, but then it wouldn't render all the job specs on the HTML page. I mean, that's at least the solutions that I found out. Perhaps maybe there's other way to go about it.
I assume you could still, even if you apply filters on the client side, you could still index and render the pages for each individual path, right? Yeah.
You mean for each individual job spec?
Like the category and stuff. Yeah, you could have a rendered page if they go like development, right? If they go to this URL.
Yeah, I could do that, but the only problem that I came across is that if I had this page on a client side, when I reload the page, the HTML file wouldn't have all those jobs from the main side. So all this list of jobs wouldn't render in the HTML file. I think this is what we last spoke as well. What you have brought up.
So you basically mean the issue with that it wouldn't be rendering the jobs if you have it selected in the. I think
Yeah,
it sounds like it's a server side issue, but like it's solvable server side issue. But okay, because are you still rendering these client side right now from
no,
API, or this is purely server side now, right?
yeah, this is all server side.
That was one thing I said where I think that's why it wasn't indexing as.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now it's all indexed. Okay,
Yeah,
so
all indexed.
so
Yeah,
if you
all the
go like to
information.
something like site xrjobsboard.com, we should see. Yeah, we should. Gosh, why is it even translating? So we see actually jobs. Fair enough.
Yes. Yeah. So I have the sitemap as well and everything.
The one thing I already know, oh, it's indexing every page. You might want to actually index only one page just for the consistency. You see this?
Mm,
You see the URL?
yeah.
It's page 2, page 6. So we're indexing page 6 of the jobs. You generally might just want to only, like, you could even set up canonical to only index the first page. Like, I assume this is happening also because you actually don't have a canonical tag on the website. Yeah, so you don't have a canonical tag.
Okay. Well,
It's
can you explain?
I should just take a random website. What website do we take? Oh yeah, our favorite website, right? This one.
Don't bring heat on me.
I'm just here. You see, canonical tag for this website is remoteok.com. See, so
Mm-hmm.
it will only index this site for all the pages.
What do you mean by on about all the pages? So
Yeah,
it
no,
wouldn't
that
show.
it will say that this is the only true, like, the reference it should index when they go to the page 6, for example. So you don't get like this page 5,
Oh, I
page
see.
6 of the website indexed
Okay.
at all. You get only the first page indexed. Sometimes it actually
Yeah.
can cause performance issues for SEO when you index like separate pages, because it kind of cannibalizes your own SEO, because you
Yeah.
split the authority between the page 1 and page 2 and page 3, etc. So you,
Gotcha.
for example, have the canonical for just for the root path.
Yeah.
That would be for example, a way for and you should actually keep those canonicals sometimes when you uh I don't want to use this example here to fix that problem, but sometimes you want to put speech canonical for basically when you start mixing some kind of filters and you don't want to index specifically those sub filters. You might keep the canonical only to the category page, and you don't index the filters plus category page. Otherwise, some
Gotcha.
people might end up having all the filter pages like this website here. I'm not gonna mention the name, but this website here did have
Mhm.
all the filters indexed, and that was causing like the indexing issues because there was
Mhm.
just a combination of, I don't know, like, there's probably like millions of combinations you could set up these filters together. Uh, like the so yeah, that's why you use the
Mhm.
canonical tag to limit your indexing for the specific page.
Mhm. Cool.
That's one small thing, I guess you could do now. I mean, yeah, let's mention the
Yeah.
canonical tag. I'm just gonna write it down. Canonical tag only for the root path. No page. What is it? Page 2, like page 3 indexing. Yeah. Yeah, see that someone also likes the background on the small bets
Mhm.
community chat. Oh yeah, the Miguel also on Twitch is complaining that your stuff is not centered. It's intentional, right? You're not centering it.
Yeah, it's intentional.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. Like, for the first moment I looked at it, I had a feeling like being on the left. I don't know, because if I open it like this is like 180p, and I have even squashed it on 4K. I felt like it felt like there's like way too much white space when I had it full screen.
Fair enough.
I know the reason why I think you want it to be on the left, but kind of to me also felt a little bit.
Gotcha. I mean, it's just
Uh,
mainly a visual,
yeah,
like stylistic choice. Let's put it this way.
yeah, I get it. So I don't think it's a issue. It's just and now I opened it on mobile. Are you a little bit off center on mobile? You are off center, right?
Um,
I
no, if you open it on a proper phone, it should be fine, as
I
far as
mean,
I know.
isn't iPhone SE
Um,
still a proper phone? I usually start with iPhone SE just because that's the
The
phone
smallest.
like where sometimes things are broken, and still there's
Gotcha.
like a decent user base on the SE phones because some prefer the small devices. I sure I could go 14 Pro Max and I would still say that you have more padding on this side than the other side.
Mhm.
But this is a minor issue not related to SEO. It just because we started talking about the Miguel's comment. But yeah, so when we have the canonical tag, would be nice to consider. Now we return to the categories, right? So I apply it, and what we get is the category development, right?
Yeah.
That's what we get. Yeah. And this is indexing as well, right?
Uh,
The
it
category
should
pages,
be.
right?
Let me
Is it?
double check in the console.
Um, because I have a feeling you might not be indexing them.
Mm, one moment.
See the jobs
Oh,
indexed, but
yeah. No, it shows up on Google Search Console that the URL is in Google and the page is indexed. If I put for instance, the category design. Let me
okay,
try
I'll try to actually find it on your page. Uh, the category design for okay.
both. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
categories.
okay, we do get it. It just um yeah, ideally I would actually have individual as I said, like ideally I would have like these like either category development or just slash development URL
Mm-hmm.
structure and actually
Mm-hmm.
index the page that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nicer URL structure. It's also it would I guess the pre-selected filters. If you land on Google, obviously the pre-selected filters load for everything correctly, right? So no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, do they load, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
they.
yeah, okay, yeah. I just got confused by the apply button because I need to like. Yeah. Okay, so they load the development jobs. All right. So yeah, that was the URL structure obviously doesn't matter as much, but ideally you have those pages and then you would have at least a little bit of like some kind of like text that actually indicates that I'm currently on development jobs. You know, like small subtitle
Yeah, I got
text
it.
with because that's why I said like I don't like the indexing just for the filters, but actually having real landing pages for that is that you can index the keywords on this
Mm-hmm.
category page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I
because
was.
for example, now here you would have like a text. It's a development jobs, and then you would have actually a discussion, not discussion, but some kind of description for development jobs. That way, you're indexing the keywords that are relevant to those development jobs on this, specifically on this page. So you build more authority on Google for those, I guess, broader keywords, and you develop a little more authority on that specific category page. I think we discussed it last time. It just it's a little bit more complex setup, I guess, for you to execute. Right? That was the issue.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of challenges in terms of like setting up those filters and making sure that they're rendered in HTML files. I have a quick question. I think last time we also spoke of having all those individual pages. So, for instance, development XR jobs, design XR jobs in a form of like a list in a footer on a main page. Is that what do you think about that of having them? Because I've seen in some other job boards that they would have like I don't know like 100 different links with almost all those filters applied or like locations like
Uh,
XR jobs
yeah,
UK, USA, and so on.
I think you better do it through the content pillars, as in that location stuff. You might show up the primary locations that you know most people go through, which might for locations might be the Silicon Valley. It might be I don't know like New York or something. You know, like You select the main locations that you highlight there, and then you might be select like all locations, and that leads to the like this content pillar page, category page for the locations, right? The reason why you might not want to have 100 links there is because the way the page rank works is that you pass authority to all the links that appear on the page. So if you have 100 links in the footer, that means you're splitting that page rank passage that you're passing through all of those links.
Gotcha.
So it's
Interesting.
not actually better to have all of them at once. Generally, you would ideally want to only have the relevant ones and the most used ones there. So they do get that extra authority from your like other pages anyway, because those are indeed the most important pages, because maybe you have the data, you already know that those are the most important pages for your site. So you kind of do it that way. For example, that's the same with I meant with the categorization, because I think I didn't really go. Gosh, I have my Catalans page as my projects. I think I was checking when we did the live stream, I accidentally clicked the audit button. So here, I think we have so here's one of your main competitors now that appears for me is the jobs in a jobs in XR. Do you know that site?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I already noticed when I go to I don't actually like this. They have very limited jobs and they have like this search already. Like you're not gonna find much. But what they have is like this popular jobs categories. See it? Yeah. So this part is what I was already also suggesting you that you do the categorization, like the main categories this way somewhere, so you can pass people through like through to the most important job categories, and then you have a category page, right? Oh, they also do only the filtering, but it's fine. They're indexing this apparently. But what they actually like, I'm still a little bit. Oh, it's infinite. Oh, it is infinite scroll as well. Another thing I actually dislike is the infinite scroll functionality. I think does your page also have the infinite scroll on the?
No, I have a pagination. I mean, from the
One
user
issue I have with this
perspective.
infinite scroll is that you never get to the footer, and actually, uh, it harms the user experience sometimes because you can't get to the links in the footer if you have
Yeah,
infinite scroll.
exactly. So I'm not a
And the
big fan
Google
of it
also
either.
obviously noticed the fact and someone's like asking, am I reading the chats? And I'm pretty sure the people who ask me whether I'm reading the chats, some of them are bots. Because I had that last time too. You respond to them and then they ask, do you need this? And then you say no and they disappear.
Uh, where do you see mainly comments?
Why is it half screen? Yeah, they're on Twitch. The users that are
Okay.
discussing. I mean, that's Miguel. Some of them are bots, I think, but the Francesco and Miguel is probably not a bot. Yeah, but yeah, the Francesco is asking why is your site half screen? I mean, I'm on 180p, but if you open it on a full screen, you obviously your page is. I guess the job listing. Why is it half screen?
In what kind?
I think it just means that your width is like what 600 pixels or something.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
I guess some people have a little bit of issues with your UX. I'm not. I personally don't really. I mean, maybe it is a little bit too pushed together. Is there a specific design reason? It's like on mob.
It's more, yeah.
No, I feel like because I feel like it actually would be nicer probably to have the full sentence be able to like. I get it that not all sentences will fit anyway. Just that a lot of sentences get like like wrapped up, but there's only one word left on the other line.
Yeah, that's the fair point. I mean, the reason mainly is one is from a visual perspective, and the second is from the length of each line. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to have too many characters in each line. So at some point the text is going to break anyway, but
Yeah.
perhaps those bullet points could be improved because maybe they are rendering a bit weird to read, or just slightly increase the width.
Then again, most people will browse it on mobile. Doesn't. I mean, on mobile you can't even improve that unless you change the text.
Yeah, so on mobile it's not going to be a big difference, but maybe the spacing, the line height for each bullet point feels a bit off. I don't know. It feels a bit.
Yeah, I mean, these
So
are not generally huge issues. I mean, if people need a job, they're pretty desperate. They don't care about their UX. But then, but yeah, but okay. Anyway, so we were talking about the one was categories, and the other thing was your links in the footer, everything. Yeah, I definitely
yeah,
think you should add some links, at least the main categories and maybe the main locations once you have them
okay.
added. I would not go with the huge footer like some pages have. Uh, you're just gonna be splitting the page rank between all the pages, and that's probably not even necessary when you're just starting out.
Hmm.
You want to actually have just to feed it in the main pages, and I definitely, as I said, you want to have those category descriptions on those main pages if you can figure out how you can maybe change a little bit of your structure. By the way,
Hmm.
I when I opened this site before too, like this site also lacks it. So I like I actually like when I was saying that like this website is actually not a great example of good SEO. There's he's even fixing some of the issues right now. It's not actually a great example of like good SEO like indexing. Specifically from indexing perspective, and also another issue here is like I think it has infinite scroll, right? Which is annoying. And then also, I have splits. What? Why is it not loading anymore? Used to load way more jobs. Oh god, that was the footer, I guess, that suddenly appeared. Oh yeah, the infinite scroll, and then I'm also like that. How are you planning to deal, by the way, with like very old listings? Because like if I scroll this page, for example, I'm gonna get to jobs that are like probably like at least 30 days old. Now it
Yeah.
stops loading. I remember I was able to see jobs that are like 4 years old. So I guess
Oh,
maybe this is fixed now. But do you also have a plan how you're like removing
I
those
usually,
jobs? Will
yeah, I
you?
usually keep the jobs up to 30 days,
Mhm.
and then I would just remove them. Um,
And what do you do with the links? Because if they get indexed, do you redirect them to the homepage and you leave the old URL alive? What's your
um,
because your
I
job listings will be indexed, and then what? Okay, so when you remove the job, do you leave a
yeah.
permanent 301 to your category page that is most relevant, or like the homepage? Like, is that or that link suddenly appears 404 if people land on the link from Google? Because that would be a bad thing.
Okay, gotcha. I think at the moment it works as a 404 because I've been
Mm-hmm.
getting I see in my Google Search Console that I've been getting notifications that some of the pages has been removed or like indexed but they are not working or something like that. Uh, how would you go about fixing it?
I mean, you can do permanent 301 to a category page or homepage.
Mm-hmm,
Basically when you're removing the job in a
mm-hmm.
database, you might be just flagging it, and then it automatically creates the redirect to the assigned category or the homepage if you don't use some kind of
So
categorization. Yeah.
so in a database you wouldn't completely um
I mean, you could, but
remove
I
the
think for
item.
this specific purpose, if you want to have systematic approach to your redirects, you actually might keep all of them in the database. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because because even if you're removing, you still need to create a record for your redirects then.
Mm, I see. Okay. I will look into that. That's a good shout though. Mm.
Oh yeah, well, Miguel mentioned that if I filter a location, I'll see jobs 8-9 months old. Yeah, that's a fair point. This for the if you go to you're this is what I meant as well. Like this is even bad UX. I mean, if you see
Oh, I
these
see.
old jobs, there's no reason, for example, for anyone to apply here, even if you
Yeah.
can. So when you show these, this is just bad user experience because if you actually bait someone to go through this process, they'll just have a bad experience. That's gonna might be a bad review of your product or whatever. But anyway, but this and even Google should obviously already flag the age of these content. Yeah, I mean one of them does say closed. You're actually right because the company I guess logged in and closed the job, but if they don't, it just lingers around. So probably the cutoff point would be, I don't know, as you said, 30 days, maybe a bit longer, because not all positions obviously get filled. So
Hmm.
maybe you want to keep them around a bit longer, but it's a
Gotcha.
it's a fair point for you as well then to consider like how you treat the lengths. Yeah, yours is 41 days right now, which is completely fine, I think. Because usually
Yeah.
because if people land on the company's job page, job application, they might still see a similar job or the same job just
Mhm.
reposted, but your listing is older.
Mm. One thing that I wanted to ask you specifically is when I'm in Google Search Console and I see the top queries. Obviously, they are mainly through XR Jobs Board, XR Jobs, and generally the keywords of XR.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering um, how could I also target the AR VR jobs or like AR jobs or VR jobs and so on? Like, how would you go about it in in this specific setup?
That's what I meant with the categorization. Um,
Mm,
I think if I understood your question correctly, I'm returning back to having those extra descriptions and then including keywords because I can already show you a problem with your site right now, which is by
okay.
the way this I started writing remote. Okay. Um, do you notice a similarity with your let me just highlight the issue what I want to oops what am I doing? Um, let me highlight. Do you notice like everything being
Yeah.
similar? Uh, if you had description for each category page, and you also would be
Mm-hmm.
able to set the meta title and meta description for each category, you would
Mm-hmm.
have these not the same. You would have these unique, and this is where you would include those additional keywords where you want to rank for. And
Right.
once you do have them in those small descriptions and the title as well, you can add it the title. You can XR jobs board, AR jobs for in AR jobs in Silicon Valley or San Francisco. You know, like you could
Mm-hmm.
have this title longer, and you could have description here with additional keywords, which would appear on that category page. That's how you would rank for those keywords. Right now, as
Mm-hmm.
you notice, you have the same for everything. And for
Yeah.
the record, it's the same for the remote OK as well. For this site, he has a similar issue. He uses the same template for every single page. It has indexed, which is incorrect. Uh, you want to at least personalize it for each category, and if you don't want to spend the time to personalize it, you still would consider including the main keywords of the category
Mm-hmm.
in that context, which significantly improves your rankings. By
Okay, I
significantly, I
got
mean
you.
like sometimes it literally doesn't rank because you have not added the keywords in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be the first thing. The issue also you want to avoid with the meta title and description, like not having these, is that what it's very common in ecom. If you don't include the keywords in category pages and you just have listings of products without
Yeah.
any additional text, you start ranking individual product on your store for those keywords instead of the category page. So it cannibalizes your traffic to the category page. And instead, Google randomly chooses one product, and that product might not even be something you want to sell. Like it's just a random product. So that's the risk of not actually doing categories, is that you might also get the same in job boards. Well, you will rank for those keywords with one specific job, but that job might not be relevant even.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Miguel is already summing something up. Meta
Yeah.
title, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Meta title, meta description. So these, okay, so update.
Well, I have a one question to you about that. So you mentioned to not have those descriptions same, right? Have them kind of different. But
Yeah.
should not there be like some sort of kind of template of, let's say, the description with just the different keywords? Because if I'm using in a main description XR, but then in the categories I use, I don't know, AR, VR, robotics, haptics, that feels a bit off. Or are you suggesting of
I don't
creating
think it's
a
wrong.
custom?
I don't think it's wrong. Your XR jobs board is your primary, like that's your brand name for the job board. So, and
Yeah.
like I could even, I think, like for example here, like I don't know, like what? Gosh, no, not like this. So we have this one here, right? Where's the text? What the hell? I wanted this text. So you have this. You could have just let's say AR jobs in let's just say like this, for example. I would say I don't think that's bad. This is
Okay.
the title. Yeah, and then in the description you would have even more keywords. No, Miguel, he doesn't need to know index the pagination. He just needs to set a canonical to the root path without the parameters. So if he does the categorization correctly as well, he doesn't need to even worry about not indexing the filters as well. It's actually easier way to avoid those issues that happen to remote OK about the category indexing is if you set the canonical for each category you want to index, you don't even need to worry about having some weird filter combinations indexing on Google with 0 jobs or not, or overwhelming Google's indexing and just complaining that it can't index your pages. You would just set up canonicals for the pages you want to index, which would be like the main category pages and the single job listings. You wouldn't even. Then Miguel was just asking the question about whether you should no index the attribute, basically the pagination and the attributes. But you can just set canonical. It actually works better.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean that you can you can change, you can do this. Yes, the template is you can keep your branding and then you have this extra text here, and then
Mm-hmm.
for each category you can have this. That would be the meta description. This would be the meta title. And yes, you can have a template and manually set it, or maybe you even want to have some. If you have a lot of categories, you can even have some kind of, I don't know, AI generated meta description that maybe
Yeah.
takes your jobs that are listed in the category and extracts the main keywords. Like, so maybe it's dynamic, like a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more risk with the dynamic, because you might start losing keyword, you might start ranking for keywords and then lose them because your jobs switch around. You
Mm-hmm.
generally want to keep it consistent. So update the fields for individual categories uh and include relevant keywords. That would be meta title, meta description, and that would be like some kind of maybe H2 on the page, category name, and some kind of paragraph description. I hope you understood what I
Yeah,
wrote
I,
here.
I get what you mean. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, I'm just wondering how to tackle that. Um,
Yeah. The Miguel means that you do the programmatic SEO, like best category jobs in location. I know,
I
like
see.
that's even done in the remote jobs as well. Just his template sucks. There's actually his template sucks because it doesn't include the keywords in a way I would expect it to be included, but it doesn't
Mhm.
actually include many of the keywords when he does that. So, and they're not personalized per category. So you should think about when you're doing that programmatic SEO approach is also that you need to sometimes keep the descriptions personalized to the category so they feel relevant. Like for example, for a VR, AR, or um,
Yeah,
just so the template basically you wouldn't. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you do that programmatical SEO approach, just don't have only one template like for the whole page. Try
gotcha.
to yeah, at least ideally for the main categories you would actually go through your SEO research, go through the
Mm-hmm.
keywords and understand like customers and stuff, like who actually browsing, and then
Yeah.
you ideally like hand tailor that based on the actual like SEO performance. So you actually know exact keywords you need to include there, because these descriptions they work not only for SEO like as in like just Google indexing, they work for click through as well. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure you both cover the keywords for the SEO, but you also want to make sure that this text is also something people want to click through.
Mm-hmm.
Like no
Mm-hmm.
spam, no just jobs, kind of nice. Yeah, like it actually makes it clear that you're like supposedly it's not
How would
spam.
you how would you structure the link for like combined categories? So for instance, junior roles in San Francisco or something like that.
Hmm. Do you mean
Like
like so
would
maybe
you draw?
like something like location, like if it's San Francisco, and then you would be like junior, right? You mean like that? Some
Yeah. I
yeah, I
was
get
just
it.
thinking based on what you were saying on having like the main categories, right? So I could, for instance, I've been receiving many messages from people
I
who are interested specifically in like junior roles or internships. So I think
mm-hmm.
it would be nice to have maybe that as a main category, but then combine it, I don't know, internships remote or anything like that as the one of the main categories that people are very specifically interested in. And I'm just wondering from a structure of the link perspective of what you were saying earlier about the xrjobsboard.com/category/development, following that kind of paradigm, how would you structure something more complex? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Generally, the primary attribute goes first. I even have I even start considering that there's a issue where you might not want to index the filter combinations. First of all, it means Google takes your indexing quota and it needs to process more pages.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to actually not have the location junior jobs because there's just going to be too little. You might just want to be junior jobs, right? And then if they actually browse the San Francisco junior jobs, they might just find a specific job listing that actually has the San Francisco junior jobs for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like one risk I feel like is that with the complex structure is that you might overcomplicate it and like spread out that authority you want to gain on the keywords too much.
Gotcha.
Ideally, for example, if they go to the San Francisco junior jobs, that they would just land on the San Francisco jobs, like the San Francisco jobs page, and then they filter it for junior, senior, for example. Sometimes that's actually better if you do like already start doing a lot of yeah, and Miguel is also asking whether you would want to do like whether you want to go with the location like San Francisco, or would you go actually AR jobs
Yeah.
like cat, like let's say like cat AR jobs, and then go
Mm-hmm.
like locations like CSF. You give us also I shortened it, but you might not want to shorten
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, whether you want to go this way or the other way, yeah, it's a good question. That's why I also mentioned that you generally don't want to maybe actually you generally don't want to index all the structural possibilities because you could have a lot. You could have VR
Yeah.
jobs slash every location. You could have the location. That's why I meant that you probably want to index all the categories. You want to index the job listings, perhaps. You want to index the locations, which is like New York, for example. But with the subcategories, I'm not entirely sure whether you actually want to index all those. That's why I said you can limit with the canonical. You can actually stop here and not index anything that's beneath it. And that's more relevant when you have very little jobs, because you don't want people to have pages indexed that have 0 jobs. That's bad user experience. They'll bounce right away, and Google will notice that they close the page and they turn to click on the next result right away. So that page will simply just lose rankings on Google anyway. So if you think about it this way, for example, we would have like AR jobs in New York, and you have structured this specific page, like let's say category AR location New York, right? You will have this page indexed with all the description, the meta title, and then they will land on this page, but this page will be entirely empty.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
actually hurting your SEO performance rather than helping.
Gotcha. I understand. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's almost like
Yeah.
about extent such
Um.
complex.
Yeah. So because of the sample sizes, I would avoid going the multiple filter indexation. I would just focus on having the categories, having the locations like maybe indexed separately, especially if they have jobs. And initially, as we I guess talk about the amount of jobs you might have on this page, is that you want to focus indexing only the pages, just like we talked about the footer. You only index the primary page, like the main pages you actually have jobs for right now. Just don't index literally everything if they maybe have like 0 jobs or 1 job. I know it's a little bit more complex, because then you need to actually have some kind of manual tag perhaps, or manual rule, not manual rules, but maybe you need some rules that unless this category has more than X jobs, we're not indexing. But
Yeah.
once you start indexing, you kind of need to continue indexing. You don't want to have the 404s or just like pages suddenly disappearing all the time. You want to
So
continue building the authority
when you
for them.
say having some sort of rules, is it mainly setting up through Google's API?
The rules that would be on your side. If basically when you're posting jobs, if there's some kind of check for whether you should set up additional filter that will go into the sitemap for indexing. I don't know how you
Gotcha.
handle the sitemap, but you can obviously programmatically have rules for your sitemap and the robot, also for robots, like which pages they should be crawling, which not.
I see.
Yeah. You have the robots. You can set up the robots rules. You can, but primarily you also should make sure the sitemap is has the right pages. But yeah, I would, for that indexing part, I don't think at your stage with the amount of jobs you have on the site, I don't think you should do the double categorization indexing at all. Just only the main category, like the category pages with the additional meta title, meta description, the H2, and the paragraph, and then maybe a couple locations like the California or whatever. Maybe it's just a region like Silicon Valley, California, or San Francisco, and then London, I guess, is London is the one you have here as well. Yeah, like region.
Regions probably would be better.
Yeah, regions might even be better for now. Yeah, later you can switch to cities. But yeah, that's mainly like a conversation specifically because of the amount of pages. But yeah, we did talk about that categorization. Like we did talk about it. Obviously, the slash location, then like city. We did talk about it. Yeah, and then like category, and then category. We did talk about it. But then the But the problem there is, as I mentioned, too little job postings would be basically the primary issue that you will encounter. And also because yes, people usually would tell you need to rank for like the broad keywords, right? And in this case, I think the broad keywords already is like the location, which would be like, let's say someone's looking for jobs in San Francisco, then that location is already broad. Like that already is like specific. And if you have like AR jobs on that category page, they will rank for the AR jobs. I mean, the description and the jobs are listed. They already have the AR in it in the keywords. Then you can easily rank for that keyword with the location. And then they can filter if they want to see the junior jobs instead of going with the double category. I think that's actually the main thing currently we're discussing today is actually this whole categorization thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would help your. We can actually check what's happening with your keywords. I actually don't want to go with that one. I want to check your. So you had more keywords before. Now you have less keywords. Interesting. I assume you don't rank too many keywords yet. You have senior creative. Oh yeah, so you have specific jobs ranking for like position 5 here. XR jobs. You have position 2 on XR jobs now. Not my. Oh yeah, and you're second behind the jobs in HR. Okay. Interesting. Mozilla job 65 position. Yeah, that wouldn't matter. But if you set up the categories with indexing with those additional things we discussed, you'll actually start ranking for those what we talked about, the AR jobs, AR like some kind of AR jobs and like MR jobs, etc., VR jobs. You'll start ranking for them if you start setting up those categories with the additional keywords. You'll actually notice that you'll start ranking for them. Even if you're not going to be in a good position, you'll start ranking for them. Because as we talked about it now, gosh, I already closed it, I think. As we talked about it now that you have this text repeated all the time, that's why you're also not ranking for the additional keywords right now. Because if I see only 27 keywords, at least that's what I know that you see more in the Google Search Console. But because you don't see more of these here, because is one part of it is because you don't have this setup with the H2 on the page and all these descriptions, including keywords. Yeah, I don't think Krystian actually sees all your questions because I think he's looking at.
I see the questions. I have it open on Twitch.
Oh, you
No,
have
I
open both.
this
Okay.
This is great, Miguel. Thank you. Because probably you ask more questions than something that I have might missed. So yeah, like as Miguel said, like is having a specific jobs rank good way, or should I also like limit those?
I think it's good. Now we already go to SEMrush and we see Snap, Snap, which means I guess Snapchat, Snapchat software engineer, right? Intern, right? Mozilla job, right? You're ranking with those maybe in a low position, but generally it's still helpful for you if you rank for some of those senior creative technologist instrument. If you didn't have that job listing, you wouldn't be ranking top 5 position in this. See, like this. Now, the problem with this is that the first position is likely the actual job wherever you took it from.
Yep.
Built in instrument, but it's still better that you do rank for those broad keywords with the job listings because people will occasionally come to your page, and because your domain name is also XR Jobs Board, and you might have like good good click through, good meta metadata for the click-through rate, they actually might actually improve your positions over time for ranking for these broad keywords with the job listings. So I personally would keep the job listings, but he was obviously, Miguel was wondering because they disappear. But yeah, you just you can do the redirect and you'll be fine with that. I mean, it is obviously a question whether you're not starting to compete with, but because those job listings are temporary, you're not exactly creating that many issues for yourself. You're only adding a little bit more exposure on your for your broad keywords that you might not have included in the category page. However, I do also want to point out, because Miguel does have a valid point, that as you build out your category pages and you work on those descriptions, the reason why you just don't want to go with it like some generic template, but for those categories you want to do some handcrafting, is that as you noticed what kind of jobs come in on your site and you see those keywords on those jobs, you actually want to move some of those keywords from the job listings over to your category page, because you realize it becomes like a common pattern and there's more jobs with that keyword. So you just take that keyword and you put it in your category text, for example, if those are like become like relevant keywords. So that way
Gotcha.
you move a little bit more of that authority to the category page.
I see. Yeah, that's very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, but if the job becomes closed, yeah, and in theory you could even like rank the closed job. The problem with you don't actually want to rank the closed job, because um oh, you mean also the overall? Yeah. I did mention that in the beginning. You either redirect it to the like the front page, or you redirect to the main category that the job belongs to. And I think we discussed it on the last live stream about this too. Like I would personally prefer if you actually link it to the primary category this job belongs to, because that just feeds the page rank up to the category. We talked about it in the previous discussion. The problem was deciding which category would be the also most appropriate for some of the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they obviously another alternative option, which also sometimes is employed in ecom, is like what Miguel mentioned now, is that this job is closed. Here are similar jobs you might be interested in, and then you just link. So you provide like this page like the page link, internal linking basically, that links to similar jobs, which will be indexed on
Oh,
Google as well.
so would it be like a separate page like any other?
So it would be like
That
this
is,
job listing page, I guess, but the template would change. It would be a job listing, but the rendered template would probably change. It's a closed app. This job is like out of date or
gotcha.
something, and then you just provide like additional. It does help to spread the link juice around. Miguel is correct about that. Now because your job account would only go up, unlike it happens with blogs or e-commerce products, the link count would continue growing if you just outdate them after, like just throw them out after a month.
Yeah.
The only problem there is that because you're just creating more and more links, that you might land some of the traffic on constantly for specific keywords, start landing it on a outdated job. That's the reason why you might want to avoid it. I would
So there would
actually,
be
yeah.
so there would need to be some sort of logic that when the job is closed, the template shows up, but it also doesn't show up on the main page within the main feed of all the jobs and whatnot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be basically like you would be flagging that job not to be appearing
Gotcha.
anywhere on the website.
Okay, here, yeah.
But Miguel brings a different point up. You could easily have, just like I told you that you could link back to the
Yeah.
category page this job belongs to. You
Yeah.
could link back to the category here, or you can already suggest similar jobs if you have some kind of basic recommendation.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, this is actually what Miguel also mentioned. That would allow you to provide some internal
Gotcha.
link juice to the similar jobs or the category. Now for
Mhm.
SEO, better would be category. For user experience, maybe both. Like
Mhm.
actually for user experience, I think both is good. Like you link to the category and you suggest like let's
Mhm.
say 2 or 3 jobs.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
makes.
yeah. For the outdated jobs, I think the straight redirect is a better experience. Google also understand this right away. Will understand that this is irrelevant. We don't need to even focus on ranking. And if any of those job links somehow magically get backlinks, if you redirect, you're actually transferring the link juice to the category page. Um, and And I think category pages in this case will be very important to actually generate some authority for like AR jobs, etc. You'll actually want to have some category authority, not just
Mhm.
the main XR jobs board page. Because then from the category page, you're feeding it back to the homepage, and from this, you're obviously. Oh yeah, I wanted to. I didn't write it down, but I um categories on the front page. I think this is the main categories on the, and also like the main category filter links in the footer. Yeah, just to have more, just to have more context, both for Google and users to know what they can be looking for. I guess category cards could be, or category links, whatever you want to name it.
Mhm.
That was similar how we saw on that other page, jobs in HR.
Yeah.
It does help when you're. I actually don't like this top part because they only have 200 jobs, so you're not exactly gonna filter much out. In fact, I probably will write something in and I'll get 0 results.
Uh-huh.
But this categorization, it's actually helpful sometimes. Especially,
Mhm.
a lot of people might be looking for a job at Unity, or they might be looking for a job specifically with VR
Mhm.
or remote. So you just directly link them those categories.
Mhm.
And we did discuss a lot also about the content which later that you can do, or the salary calculators, etc. Remember we talked about those
Yeah.
additional
Yeah. Yeah.
tools. Yeah, that's probably a little bit more distant future, but that will be one of those ways to start generating a lot of SEO traffic that might not be like as relevant for your job board experience, but it will at least be good for getting some backlinks, and it would be good for generating awareness of your of your website.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, Miguel again goes back to the very traditional, old school SEO, which is the FAQ pages. Now, the
Mhm.
owner of this page said that it's incredibly bad, that it's old school SEO. Actually,
Mm.
there it's all, you can all find those tweets on X, but truth is, yes, you might sometimes want to have the FAQs at the bottom of the page, and they
Mhm.
can be category relevant. Basically, but when I thought about it, I had a hard time coming up with a good reason to include them right now. Like, what would they ask, and what would you actually provide an answer for here in an FAQ right now? That is my main question. Like, if it would be like, if you're on let's say we're on AR jobs category, what would be the FAQ? Will you be including FAQ like what is AR? Like, what is AR? I mean, is the,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a little bit of a problem with that here right now because um or do you do like programmatic answers of like, do you like, are there jobs in AR in like location or something, and you just have provide question answer which includes like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's 50 jobs or something, and you have a link. Yeah, but I currently, I get it, what you mean, because helps with the keywords. What Miguel is saying is that e-commerce sites would generally have these FAQs at the bottom of their category pages, for example, because they would help semantically link more keywords together. Oh yeah. Here's Miguel going with the how to get a job in AR. That means you would answer the question with something. Maybe you have a blog article for that. I would keep that in on the back burner, and actually think about it. From personal experience in ecom is that those FAQ pages can help, but they're not as impactful anymore as they used to be. And in fact, I have actually I have seen sites where it actually ended up hurting the performance. Not because it just reduced traffic, but it started putting some keywords in the wrong, like indexing the keywords in the wrong pages. But it does help Google understand the page a little bit better. You're right. And that's why the H2 with the paragraph and the metadata, this is the first thing you need to provide to Google to make sure Google understands what those pages are for. This is
Gotcha.
this is for those categories. This is the first thing you can do. The FAQ I'll put with an asterisk. Low prior, but Miguel is correct. I wouldn't start with that, but you could consider adding them later. I'd personally focus more on maybe on the tooling that we discussed previously with like whatever you can think of like the blog type of posts or toolings for like the salary, some kind of tooling to like showcase like the salaries in specific categories, etc. I think that would be a good way to boost your rankings for that as well. Because once you do go with this AR, you actually start having way more content to generate and go through. And we first need to get through this part. Now, Miguel does bring a valid point up, and it's actually good to include some FAQs. They're primarily for Google, though. That's why I wouldn't focus on them the first hand right now, because they are generally just for Google, unless you already have the supporting blog posts where you can link to the blog posts and they can actually read more about the industry, and maybe that's like just that increases basically how people spend more time on your website if they're like some kind of beginners, and that way you improve like basically your engagement metrics, and maybe some people start sharing those blog posts because be like, hey, don't you like check this introduction to like AR industry or something on jobs in AR. So that obviously would I would put it together with some kind of content strategy already. If you
I came across, I mean, recently I think on Twitter I've seen like quite a lot of like AI tools on generating blog posts and then creating like the content for SEO for that.
You mean using those AI tools to generate some blog posts, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But I guess this as being a SEO strategy of just generating loads of different sorts of blog posts.
Yeah, if you come up with a good strategy of what you're gonna be building around the content around, I think it's okay. I have a little bit of reservations with some of those things. Like I like the programmatic SEO. I've seen it well executed when you're comparing like different things. You're comparing like some kind of numeric values for this versus that, and you have like the every single page ranking on Google. However, because if the content is not actually very helpful and you're not providing also like the next step for them, then it's like what. So you're gonna start linking, I guess, your job categories and be like, here you can find the junior jobs, because I assumed like if you do those blog posts, especially the the traffic job, the higher traffic job posts will probably be something very introductory. You'll be linking maybe to internships. You'll be linking to the junior jobs category pages. Oh yeah, Black Friday sale as well. No, you can actually do that. I would be a little bit more reserved on doing it before I do the, you know, the more urgent updates like these.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
because then you might also even start transferring some of your keywords to the blog pages,
Mm.
because you
Hmm.
don't have the established authority with your category pages. Basically, get the category pages up, get them indexed,
Yeah,
and start like building authority, and then you move on to this part, the part with the. Then you might
yeah,
move part and consider this part, what you can do with the double categories if you ever want to do it, and then you can also think about the FAQ pages and the like the blog posts, content hubs for tooling specific categories. So yeah, also
hmm,
checking the chat, talking about the Black Friday sale for posting a job.
yeah. I don't have a feature that spot yet. I need to also, because until the last few days I had a few featured job posts already up, but yeah, recently they got expired, so I still need to create like a banner or something to advertise it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also haven't focused on the Black Friday stuff. Yeah. I mean, you could obviously add it just as a, but if most people are browsing for jobs and not the ones who want to advertise, then it's, I guess, a little bit of the Black Friday would just be a visual element on your page. But you did have a featured job before, right? It just expired.
Yeah, I had a couple of already featured
Mm-hmm.
jobs that were showing up at the top, and they also had a custom visuals like a little rainbow and all sorts of stuff that
Yeah.
looked cool. But yeah, they got expired recently.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all super helpful. I think it gives me like a plenty of next steps. Um, so I'll try to implement it as soon as possible, and then I'll keep you guys updated probably on small talk. Oh, I mean on small
Campfire for
bets.
small bets. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The newsletter open rate is pretty good. Um, I didn't even know what are like average numbers, but apparently they are quite lower usually. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I had to quickly also respond to one message. Yeah. I mean, there's actually probably way more stuff we could discuss about also
Mhm.
even specific keywords, but we actually took like what more than 1 hour already in the on the live stream as well. But yeah, I think there's these. I think you have a lot of stuff to also think about and go through already.
Mhm.
And I even think there's even some points from the previous talk that you could still apply regarding the tooling and
Mhm.
etc. With the blog post as well, you also talked about that's need to structure the content hubs and figure out what you actually want to write about there. Like basically, what's your audience also for that specific category would be. would those be like the newcomers in the space? Would that be like some kind of other type of content that's already for more experienced audience?
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume most of the traffic you'll get from the broad keywords will actually be people asking relatively basic questions, and those will
Mm-hmm.
be the newcomers that are actually looking into that. Now it's really good for some backlinks. It's really good for getting the backlinks, but it might not directly like help a lot for your directly for your job business.
Yeah.
But it's still
Obviously.
good. Like the tooling and the blog posts, they're still good for because they slowly build like your topical authority. For example, if those are focused on like junior jobs,
Mm-hmm.
because they give like they provide like they provide actually more authority. For example, for junior jobs with like some kind of content hub that should generate content for like very basic questions, then you actually can link them to your junior jobs, and people might click through. But you already on those pages, you will have the pages start ranking higher for those keywords, and then you'll also be linking specifically, let's say, to a category that is junior jobs on your website. So you're just basically feeding all that authority for the blog post and the content pillar through to your category that is junior jobs. And that way you might start, for example, ranking higher with some kind of junior jobs, like XR junior jobs, etc. And yeah, Miguel is also starting to talk about you, because you were discussing how you would reach the B2B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree on that with also Miguel about cold emailing and calling some
Mm-hmm.
of the companies and discussing, especially like reaching them on, like reaching out them to someone on LinkedIn and cold emailing. You might actually be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh God, I'm getting some spammers in
Um,
my Twitch chat.
yes, few followers are
Jesus,
few.
and you're even providing me a link to. Ah, right. Can I even moderate it properly on the? I don't think I can moderate it from Streamlabs. Can I even moderate it properly on Twitch? Because I think if I didn't have like the partner or something, I couldn't even moderate it very well. I can I remove it? Wow, I just modded. This is ridiculous. Can I remove them? Will the message go away now?
Yeah, it says message deleted by the moderator.
I find it funny that I click the other button and just give mod to someone, and then I'm modded. This is just funny because I click the wrong button right next to it, and you just give someone a mod, like a moderated privilege. That was the ban button, yeah. So it disappears. Thank God. Yeah, I actually hate that these. If you don't pay attention, actually, if you stream on multiple platforms, these kind of things more frequently happen. Oh yeah. By the way, have you
Cool.
been actually contacting companies
So,
about this?
I've been so it hasn't been as active or like a proper effort. Usually, I would reach out to someone more within my closer circle that I noticed that has been hiring, or someone would reach out that saying that they enjoy the project and they're like hiring, and just have a few conversations, and then I would mention to them
Mm-hmm.
that they have a option to post and get their jobs featured. So the numbers in terms of how many people I reached out to like are not that high. So I think I just need to do a proper effort into kind of reaching out further.
Yeah, I think what might benefit a little bit is if you also if those smaller companies. I think it's more I think smaller companies might be more interested to actually also advertise with you, right?
Mm.
Not the large companies, but the
Mhm.
maybe like some smaller AR companies that are got like recent funding or something like
Mhm.
just starting. Maybe they're more interested to actually appear on your job board because they might have harder time hiring people, so they would want to
Yeah.
have any exposure they can get.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
obviously people will first and foremost more likely be looking at the bigger companies in the space, which should obviously be all the like the Amazons and
Mhm.
I mean SpaceX. I mean yeah Rivian, yeah sure, you have a lot of like recognizable names, so the people might obviously first be looking at those companies. Roblox as well nowadays is quite recognizable
Mhm.
in the space. Meta, of course. So you might want to. Oh yeah. You can even. I think there was even like, wasn't there like even some kind of leak of a lot of data from Crunchbase and stuff, and listing based because it was all listed in some kind
Mm.
of one big dump. It was much easier, I think, to find the companies,
Mhm.
and then you can basically find companies that are recently funded or something, and
That's a
just
cool one.
yeah. And there's probably some announcement boards, right, for this category where you can actually find like recently, like basically announcements of like recent funding, etc., like newsletters or something, and
Mhm.
then you can just offer those companies to try to hire through you, because if they have recent funding, that means they're likely hiring.
Mhm.
Oh right, the X job board. I haven't even looked at it. Is anyone actually looking at those X job boards? You know, the job board on the X platform.
Um. No. Oh yeah, I understand, Miguel.
Yeah, I know what Miguel meant, but I realized there is a jobs
Okay.
section on X. Does anyone actually use it?
I've seen a couple of job postings. I think mainly from, I mean, Tesla, which is kind of obvious,
Mm-hmm.
but not much else.
Okay, yeah, because I realized there is a job section on X. Maybe you can even like scout who's actually uh on that page.
Mm.
Might provide a little bit more context as well, who to reach out to.
Mhm.
Yeah, Miguel says there's a good list of companies there.
Mhm.
I guess I'll check VR. Just do a keyword VR. Yeah, I did it off screen actually, but yeah, there's a list of companies, actually. But that's more so that's VR actually browse different. I think it browses the state as well as Vermont or whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
yeah.
the tricky
You
part.
then need to like type VR jobs or virtual reality instead, I guess. Yeah, there's companies there. There's actually companies from Germany. There's companies from New York, other places. Might be worth actually looking into it a bit. Maybe you can even steal some listings from there.
Are you talking about on Twitter, on X?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a job section when you have I guess it's for premium. Or you can list. I don't know. Or you can. I don't even know. I guess it's for everyone nowadays. Didn't even realize whether it was for everyone or not.
Oh, I see. I didn't notice that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I have not actually. I know it kind of existed because it occasionally like popped on my feed when someone actually tweets it. But I with my eyes, I always go over that category. I just
Mhm.
never even like think about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, the jobs category exists, so might be worth considering.
Mhm.
Yes. Miguel already gave you the comment about it, because you have this text here, and
Mhm.
you might want to include all the main, like the AR, VR, XR, whatever. You
Oh
might
yeah,
want to
that's
include the keywords, at least for, especially before you have the category pages correctly set up. You might want to just have the keywords, and then you can change the title to XR Jobs Board, Best AR, VR, XR Jobs in the industry.
that's cool. Should it, as a title of that, it shouldn't be the name of the page. It can be something kind of more custom.
Oh, it's up to like 55 characters. You should go
Okay,
and actually have it longer. Just like, for example, here you have all the XR jobs and opportunities in one place.
gotcha.
And even in this one, you see this.
Yeah.
It's just that your template will obviously be tailored for each page with the text, but for specifically the home page, you want to have it include the other keywords for now.
Mhm.
Once you go down to the categories, then you can consider like reformatting them a little bit differently. But while you don't even have the category stuff set up, you should definitely change this as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, Miguel has been an active chatter again. He's again the top chatter in the stream. When he shows up, he's usually the top chatter these days. I mean, Dennis would also be, but Dennis only showed up now. Hey, Dennis. But Dennis showed
I'll
up too
try,
late to actually compete for the top spot.
I'll try to make it to other streams as well from now on.
Yeah, yeah, for the last 10, 15 minutes, we actually been mostly looking through the chat and discussing the chat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miguel, you're me apparently of Twitch chat. What else we can? Nah, we're probably gonna be, I guess, done with it for most part. We already discussed a lot, and we probably will be returning to similar discussions sometime in the future. You'll probably have way more. If you actually get most of those things done, like even on the method level, and those primary points here, I think you'll actually start ranking way better for most of those keywords. And then obviously you might want to do the location pages, etc. But you'll start ranking way better for those keywords, and then you'll have more also context to see like what you can do with it, because you'll see more of those keywords in the Google Search Console as well, like what exactly you could rank for, what kind of questions people ask, and you're appearing there with your with your listing but not getting clicks, for example.
Mhm.
And that's when you can also think about the FAQs maybe tailored a little bit better, etc.
Mhm.
Basically, you want to get this stuff done so you get more data points from Google directly as well through the
Mhm.
Search Console
Mhm.
and real users. And then you can work on the blog posts and the FAQs, etc. In a maybe in a more like a more data oriented way as well. If you don't do the research from Google, because Google always has like if I'm not using this like virtual reality jobs, if I just browse on Google, you get,
Mhm.
oh god, I'm in a guest profile. You get all these people also ask. This section provides a lot of good information because there's clearly blog posts and people click on these. That's why also this, so that how to start a developer career. So you can already
Mhm.
see what kind of blog posts people
Yeah.
like. You get scholarly articles. Okay, so that's some kind of research articles for the topic. You get search for. Here you get
Mhm.
also, even on Google, you don't even need to use SEO tools, right? You get already like salary. That's what I meant last time about the salary
Mhm.
calculators, or not calculators, but necessarily, but like some kind of informative pages of showing salary for in like specific region or specific job position.
Mhm.
Remote work from home. as a keyword.
Mhm.
So you have two keywords. You have the remote keyword, but you also have the adjacent keyword, which is work from home. Means the same thing, but people browse differently. And near me is obviously the location based. And the entry level, the junior. Now they might not say junior, they might write entry level.
Mhm.
So that's all for those categories that you later want to consider bulking them up in the descriptions. Mention the entry level, mention the junior.
Mhm.
So if you have the junior job category, then you obviously want to also include the entry level and similar keywords in the description that I have like semantically relevant.
Mhm.
Augmented reality jobs. The question is, first of all, I want to check how it looks on Google directly. So we have Meta Careers ranking high. We have Upwork. And they have even Google Careers. Yeah, I think this one actually might be a good keyword. I'm not going to go to Ahrefs, but I will do a SEMrush. Could do both, but I think it doesn't matter. Gosh, let me get to the keyword. 480, easy keyword difficulty. Yeah, it basically would show up the same. Yeah, I've even looked at it, I think, the last time. It's similar categories. And I said I think there's a lot of potential because the volume is pretty low and the keywords are relatively easy. Obviously, there's a lot of Indian volumes, so you need to if you don't have the jobs in India or good remote
Yeah.
jobs, sometimes you want to discount that traffic from, and you want to look like the US, UK, and maybe some other Western countries. But you get US volume 480, which is good if you have like I think you actually have decent keywords that are relevant.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, no, you're right for those easy keywords, but that's primarily why I mentioned also about those categories. As long as the categories are start to set up, you still need to do a little bit of the keyword research for your description. So you just go through the keywords then and start checking like what kind of keywords you get here and what are
Mhm.
the like the relevant keywords, and not also like what just like the basic research is even like here, like when you write that you check this, you check even like these categories, you see what people are browsing for. They want to work with Unity on Unreal Engine. Then
Mhm.
you hear as well if you do like augmented reality jobs. If I go all keywords, I'm gonna get a big mess. But I want to actually check what. So you get reality labs. You can get meta reality labs. Meta work from home VR, but that's not Meta augmented reality. So a lot of people want to work for Meta, for example. Meta AR company. I guess they're just looking for a job, I assume.
Mhm.
Maybe not. Who knows? Augmented reality companies. So there's someone browsing for a list of augmented reality companies. I assume people browsing for AR companies and AR company, might be a mixed intent. Some might be looking for a job there, some might be looking to pitch something, or some might just be doing research
Mhm.
into AR. From what I could say here, most people this keyword is a listicle of AR companies, so it's more like obviously looks very informational. So I want to check if I do all keywords and just check on AR. AR developer job, AR engineer, AR startups, which obviously people just browsing for AR profession. So people informationally thinking about AR, they don't maybe really know what future of AR. Yeah, that's. Yeah, but Miguel is right. If when you're browsing the AR augmented reality companies, you actually get even listicles of companies that you can
Mhm.
technically email and offer to
Nice.
work with your service.
That's awesome.
Gosh, didn't even miss AR job. That actually showed me the wrong thing. Want to show me Arizona? It does, yeah. No, AZ is Arizona. What is AR? What is AR? Arkansas? What is AR from states? Which state is AR? Is there a state with AR? Because I get, if I browse just AR jobs, I get this.
I'm not sure. Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, you can do a lot of research with the trial for SEMrush. There's 14-day trial if you haven't used it yet, and then you just start browsing those keywords and all the variations of keywords. You can obviously try to figure out like, gosh, there's also, if I just browse augmented reality, you get adult content, you get emojis, you get everything. Augmented reality snake. If you don't do just jobs, if you go everything, what would be like augmented reality work? What if I don't do jobs? I just check the work. How does augmented reality work? How does it work? So there's a lot of blog post potential for that, but I wouldn't go with that right now. Yeah, we obviously will. You're obviously, for this specifically, you won't need as much. You'll basically will be able to list main like keywords related to your AR like category, and you will also be able to list like maybe the cities in the description as well. Like if you want, you can also like jobs in like San Francisco, like New York and more, for example. You can include that in the description as well, just so you're directly already get the locations in there as well, while you don't have a separate section for locations. So this part, yeah, we should be focusing on this part for
Yeah,
the
I
meta.
mean, I think I have a plenty of stuff to look into. So
Yeah,
this
you
is
have
awesome.
a lot of stuff to look into.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's been super informative and useful. And
Yeah,
thanks,
but
Miguel, answering all the questions and
Miguel
suggestions.
provided a lot of feedback and questions, so that's all good.
Awesome.
It's nice that someone's actually chatting, because after other times, sometimes there's just no one coming on the in the chat. At least sometimes someone might be watching, but they don't come in the chat, so you don't really know if they have any questions or they have any. Once you have some feedback to provide in the chat, it's much easier to go through and also a bit more interactive. So yeah, obviously, once you start doing, as we talked about those parts, you actually start getting the rankings for these, specifically this augmented reality jobs, etc. You'll start ranking for these keywords, and then we'll see. Then you will see actually what you need to work on. You'll see how high you get by just starting to rank for it. You'll see like whether you're getting clicks, whether people are like browsing the page when they land from the keywords. Then you also already start getting more feedback, and you'll see in the Google Search Console what you're actually appearing on, and that will provide even more direct feedback than to you can just go through from the like SEMrush, because SEMrush provides generally like you get a lot of research you can do, especially on questions, much easier here, but you will still get a lot of information from Google Search Console alone, as long as you're including the primary keywords. So you'll see exactly what people like. You'll get a lot of like a small, like basically all the broad keywords, long tail, not just broad, but I mean not broad, just long tail keywords. You start getting them, and then you'll see actually what exact long tail keywords you might want to consider including somewhere. later for the ranking, because SEMrush, for example, won't show you all the long tail keywords, all the questions people might ask. That will be in the Google search console.
Gotcha. I see what you mean.
Yeah. SEO
Cool.
gets what Miguel mentioned. SEO gets, that's the tool that's in the what someone linked in the small bets community. I have not tried it yet, but I wanted to actually try it. I think it was SEOgets.com, if I'm not wrong. I'll try it. So this is basically summarizes your Google Search Console insights on the tracked keywords and I guess content groups. Basically, yeah, your blog, your homepage, your some kind of 4x, basically like programmatic SEO, I guess. And for pages, and you can actually see it easier, I guess, what queries and everything without using the Google Search Console, because Google Search Console is a little bit slow and not always very intuitive to use, but a little bit easier, I guess, with the SEO Gets. I have not used it yet, but as Miguel mentioned, it looked pretty nice.
Sorry guys, I have to.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I
I
have to
should
go
also
down.
go soon. Thanks for everyone for showing up, and also Miguel for chatting a lot, and
Yeah.
Dennis for dropping in and stopping by to discuss it a little bit. I just want to see you, like, you're gonna come up with for like the next month or so. You probably, if he's, because you want, because I think you're gonna get way more traffic that way once you start making the changes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
definitely.
Dennis the lurker. Thank you for lurking.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nestors, for
Yeah.
knowledge and time. I appreciate that a lot. Cool.
Yeah, we had a
I'll,
decent discussion, and have a nice Thanksgiving. But you're
yeah,
actually celebrating, I guess.
yeah. I am. I have to get ready. Uh, cool. I'll see you later, guys, and keep chatting. See
Yeah.
you later.
See
Thank
ya.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Um, uh, our guest for today is gone, so we're obviously gonna stop the stream in a sec. I mean, for the last half an hour, we were even just chatting mostly, but yeah, this job board project. I mean, a lot of potential still left. Like, not that much actually implemented from the SEO standpoint with the keywords and everything, and blogs or tools. None of that is still here. There's already some improvements since the last time we talked, because the job page listings are here. There's a category filters, but once you take it like to the next level, also, like, yeah, the canonical tags, I forgot, we discussed it though, so probably the outdated links, you deal with them, and then you obviously start ranking the category pages with the additional text. You start suddenly appearing in search for many more keywords, because right now it doesn't. That's what's missing. But hey, it's already a profitable business, even if it doesn't rely on SEO as much. So there's a great incentive to actually do like very specialized job boards for other people as well. And bye, Miguel, and Dennis, I guess. Bye as well, if you're maybe already gone. I mean, I'm about to stop streaming anyway. The lurkers. Yeah, me too. Definitely not celebrating Thanksgiving here, but, and I guess you're also not exactly celebrating Thanksgiving, but except the party, right? The party. You're technically celebrating though, right? You're going to a party. Even for, I was even confused when you mentioned, like, when you were going to the party with some people. Yeah, because I was like confused, because you were talking about the holidays, and like, but then I was like, what? Why is there a party? And then and it continuously didn't connect with me that the Thanksgiving is like today. because we don't celebrate it here. So I was just because I'm like always focused on Black Friday on this week. It's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's like something happening. Like there's like ecom always have something like. There's always discounts and offers, but you always forget that like for some reason there's Thanksgiving event, and after that you're just buying everything. Like you're just buying everything. It seems so contradicting to have the Thanksgiving and Black Friday on the same week. But it's like, yeah, here we're doing this like 5 minute appreciation for everything that we have in our life, but now let's go to the store and camp at the entrance of the store for the night so we can buy a cheap iPhone. Although the camping at the stores, I guess, has gone down now that you can buy everything online. But I remember those old videos from like everyone's like crazy waiting at the opening of the store, and I think even like setting up tents in the entrances of the store for the night before the opening or something, and then they just like everyone's just rushing in. I remember those old videos. That was like the pre ecom taking off. Crazy. But it's not that much healthier. You just have a full month of ads and promos everywhere, and everyone's just selling you everything with a pre Black Friday, uh, Black Friday, post Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then I don't know, like I think there was even like that Singles Day. What was that? Was it 11/11? Was it like 11th of November? Like for a couple of years, I remember like there was like some Singles Day ads appearing as well. I no, is it even still a thing? Because I didn't notice it this year, but I remember there was like a Double 11. Yeah, yeah, it was came from China, right? Yeah, Chinese e-commerce holiday. Yeah, and I noticed it. It was actually even in the West as well, appearing on some sites. It was appearing. Yeah, here's a Singles Day discount. But no, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you guys showing up to the live stream and learning a little bit about some SEO as well. It's great. It's great to be grateful. Anyway, and then we go down to talk about the 90% discount, right? Anyway, okay, I should wrap up this live stream since I don't have much more to talk about in this context. I mean, we have way more to talk about in the context, but I also wanted to keep it simplish today without indulging on every small detail, just so we do it more like, I guess, in a sequence, deal with one main problem or couple main problems and then move on to the next one instead of like overloading with everything and then dealing with everything at once, because I think people end up doing nothing if you overload them with all the information at once, or like some just very 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 nuanced information you start talking about it. I find it that usually just nothing happens. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was actually a pretty long live stream. I'll talk to you guys. I mean, I will be live streaming probably. Not sure. Not this week. Next week probably. Like at least 1 or 2 live streams and something again. Maybe some space. I should get back to the spaces as well. Gets more interactive for some reason. I think because it's easier to consume. I don't know. I'm browsing the Singles Day though. See ya.